Hello again, Dave here with SparkFun Electronics. Today we're going to be talking about getting started with Arduino. If you've never used Arduino before, if the term SDK scares you, if you just don't know where to get started, this is for you. We're going to walk you through installing Arduino, the SDK, plugging it in, getting the drivers all sorted out, and actually uploading your first sketch. We're going to be covering the Arduino Uno. In this case, we have a revision 3, as you can tell from the white background. If you have a revision 2 or a first generation, that's totally okay, everything will be the same. If you have an older version of the Arduino, such as a Duella Manove, then the process is a little bit different. It uses an FTDI chip on board, so the drivers are a little bit different. But if you have an Arduino Uno, this will definitely help you get started. In front of me here, I have the Arduino and a Mac computer and a Windows-based computer. So we can have all your bases covered. We're gonna start off with the Windows machine, so we're gonna plug it in and see what the process is like to install. Before we plug anything in, we need to download the SDK and all the drivers first. It's really simple. I'm gonna start up a web browser and go to arduino.cc. I'm gonna hover over here and click on this little download link, which will take us to the download page. If I scroll down a tiny bit, you'll see there's a list here of all the different platforms. Since we are starting with Windows, I'm going to click the Windows button so we get the appropriate software. So as the software is downloaded, it's just a zip file. So I'm going to go ahead and open the file. So now I've navigated to the downloads where this file is. So I'm going to go ahead and right click it because it's a zip file, and I'm going to say extract all. It doesn't really matter where you extract the files to. Arduino is a standalone application on Windows. You can just run the executable, but I'm going to still go ahead and put them in my program files. So that way I can find them later. So now you can see here in our C program files, we actually have an Arduino 1.01 folder as well. I'm going to leave that be. I'm going to close all these windows, and we're going to plug the Arduino in and see what happens. So the first thing I'm going to do is plug the cable into the Arduino on the B end, plug the other end into the laptop. So in order to get the Arduino recognized by the system, I'm going to go to the device manager, which you can get to by right-clicking on my computer, selecting Properties, and choosing the device manager. Down here you'll see we have this unknown device. That's the Uno. So I'm going to double click on it and select Update Driver. I'm going to browse my computer for the device driver because the device driver is actually included with the software we just downloaded. Remember where I put the downloaded files? I put them in C, Program Files, Arduino 1.01, and inside that folder there is a folder called Drivers. I'm just going to select that as the top level folder, hit OK, and then hit Next. Windows will actually automatically discover the drivers that are in that folder for us. Windows has finished installing the device. Now we can actually use it. And go back to where we put the Arduino executable. So again, this is in Computer, it's in C, Program Files, Arduino 1.01, and in here we have this executable called Arduino. It has a little infinity symbol next to it, so I'm going to double click on that, and that will actually open the SDK. In the middle, you can see there's an area for actually entering your program. Down below, there's an area for debugging. That's where all your serial debug statements are going to be. And then there's a menu up here that has the verify, which will compile your sketch, has an upload button, and a bunch of other goodies as well. Since we're just getting started, I'm going to select File, Examples, Basics, and Blink. This is the software that's actually flashed to the Arduino at the factory. So it's already running, but I want to re-upload it anyway just to make sure everything is okay. So now that I've got the Blink sketch up, I'm going to go to the Tools menu, select Board, and just double check that Arduino Uno is selected because we are working with an Arduino Uno. If you've got a different type of Arduino, feel free to select it out of the list. I'm also going to double check the serial port is on COM4, which is the USB port that the Arduino is hooked up to. If you have more than one COM port, you can go to the device manager, unplug one, and see which one disappears. So now that everything is set, double checked, everything's plugged in, I'm going to go ahead and press this big upload button here, which will flash the device with my sketch. As you can see in the SDK, it says done uploading. We have successfully uploaded our first sketch to Arduino. If you look closely, you can see the little light on the Arduino blinking. That's all the sketch does. It just turns the LED on for 1 second, then turns it off for 1 second. It gets to the end of the loop and it turns it back on for 1 second and off for 1 second. So congratulations on uploading your first sketch to Arduino. Now let's talk about the Mac. It's a very similar process. To start, we're going to download the SDK from the Arduino website. Open a web browser, and again, just go to arduino.cc. Navigate to the download button, and since we're on a Mac now, I'm going to select this Mac OS X button. This will start the download. On the Mac, it's about 70 megabytes, so again, it might take a minute or two, but it's totally worth it. Now that I've got the software downloaded, it's a zip file, so I'm just going to find it on my system, either in Downloads or the desktop or wherever you saved it to. I'm just going to double click it. This will extract the Arduino.app. There's no other files or folders in that directory, it's just a single application, which is great. It keeps things very simple, there's no extra extraneous drivers or anything like that. So you can either move that to your applications folder or just run it from wherever it extracted to. In this case, it's on my desktop, so I'm just going to double click it. And we're faced with the IDE. It looks very similar across all platforms. We've got the programming area, the debug area, and the same toolbar up here that has the verify, compile, upload buttons that we're used to. Plug the B end of the cable into the Arduino itself, and then plug the A end of the USB cable into my laptop. The beautiful thing about the Mac is there's no extra drivers to install. It's all built into the Unix underpinnings of the system. So in Arduino, I just go to Tools, Board, and again, double check that I am using an Arduino Uno. And for serial port, I'm going to choose the dev TTY USB modem, and then it'll be some weird string of characters. Choose the TTY.USB modem instead of the CU USB modem, and you should be good to go. You can ignore all the other ones that are there. And just like on Windows, I'm going to go to File, Examples, Basics, Blink, which will open the sketch. And since I've double checked everything, all I have to do now is hit the upload button. When I press the upload button, what it's doing is it's compiling the sketch into bytecode on the host computer and then transferring it over serial to the Arduino to flash it to the onboard memory. As you can see here, it says done uploading. It'll tell me the sketch size. And if I look at the Arduino, you can see that there is indeed a light blinking on and off. So that about covers it. We've gone over Windows and Macintosh and uploading your first sketch to an Arduino. I hope it indeed did help you get started with Arduino. If you haven't yet, I highly recommend investing in a SparkFun Inventors Kit. This comes with not only the Arduino microcontroller, but a breadboard, a bunch of wires, and a bunch of sensors and output devices just to help you dive into the wonderful world of Arduino. Until next time, this is Dave with SparkFun Electronics.